Welcome to the Space in Between podcast, a series where we will talk about everything and anything mental performance in a bite-sized fashion.
I'm Ciana, and here with me is
Frida.
We are certified mental performance consultants. I'm from Ireland and Frida is from
Sweden.
On this podcast, we share our knowledge and passion for all things sport and performance psychology, including all things mindset, exercise, sport, everyday life, and insights into how we help ourselves and others in developing our mindsets.
Let's go.
Woo! Episode 5.
Here we go.
Today we are talking about how to make yourself proud in sport, regardless of the outcome.
It's a good topic.
Yeah, important. Difficult.
Yeah. We're very biased. We see every topic is a good topic.
Yeah. This topic has come, as per usual, from personal experience and maybe finding this in particular difficult. So last week, a couple of weeks ago now, 2 weeks ago, I, Ciana, played in the All-Ireland Championship, the quarter-final of handball, and I lost in a tiebreaker, sadly. So this has been something that's been on my mind since then, as you'll know if you follow us on Instagram, because we've had some content about this there as well. But it can be a difficult thing to feel proud of yourself when ultimately, obviously we all want to win when we're playing competitive sport. So how can I feel proud and be not content, but be able to move past the loss?
Yeah, so I suppose kind of what you're saying here, and something that most of us probably struggle with, is that we might dwell on something for a long, long period of time.
Yeah.
Feeling very disappointed if it didn't go the way we wanted, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously this didn't go the way you wanted, and if you think about it, you probably still kick yourself a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, like even now thinking about it, like I'm really disappointed that I lost, and the All-Ireland final is on tomorrow, and obviously I want to be playing there.
Yeah.
This is more for me than for anyone else out there. talking about my feelings.
That's it. So I suppose with this, it's, talking about how difficult something like this is, and then also finding a healthy way to move forward, because we all have to move on, regardless of how disappointing something is. And that can be really difficult.
Yeah. And I also think like a lot of the things that maybe we are proud of are like thinking about the things that I have won, the achievements that I've had. But I think like thinking about it in a different lens, because we're all going to lose. In sport, in our professional lives, in our personal lives, things aren't going to go our way all the time. But that doesn't mean that we can't be proud of ourselves. So it's not saying like, oh, I'm proud that I lost, but there's reasons to be proud despite the outcome that you get. Because that's just one element of a huge process that happens on that journey.
Yeah, well said. And we have 3 topics that we kind of want to dive into a little bit deeper with this experience that you have thought about. One of the first topics that we're going to talk about is that you get to choose your idea of success. And tell us more about that. What is it that you mean?
It's very easy to think about success and to think about winning. So like a successful season for me will be if I win the All-Ireland Championship. And like to a certain degree, you want to have goals like that, ones that drive you, ones that maybe you're uncertain of, but there's other ways to be successful. So for example, a really important thing for me is to end the season a better athlete than I started it. So that doesn't tie anything to winning. Like I can finish the season a better athlete, but I might not win, Or it could be, I'm going to commit to training X number of days a week. Maybe I haven't done that before. So if I'm able to do that, that's successful. Or maybe this season I will include strength and conditioning in my training, So that's also a way to achieve success. So we get to choose what success is to us. And it's, I think, really important to think about success beyond winning or losing. And winning can still be your ultimate goal. But if you have other ideas of success, those will push you to get the outcome you want instead of kind of tying you down.
Yeah, and this is a trap that a lot of us will fall into, that success, it is the outcome. and that's it. You know, when we think about being successful in anything, getting that promotion, that salary, whatever it is, you know, it's like you check it or you don't. But as you can see here with what Ciana is saying, is that there's so many different ways that we can look at success. That's way more than just the outcome or achieving something, being able to tick something off. Something that I think stands out there too is that you kind of talk about the process, you know? Like we can find success in the process and what we have done throughout a longer period of time than to tie everything to one moment.
Yeah. And this is actually something that I talked to another handballer about at a competition in the US in January, and I'll give him a shout out, Killian Carroll. He has said many wise things to me about handball. But I lost in the final there, and I was really disappointed, you know, but I said, you know, I'm disappointed in the outcome, but like I feel like I performed well. And like he said that there, you know, that he would take the outcome very lightly, you know, that there's so many things that lead up to that. So like if you can look back and say, I trained as well as I could, you know, I put effort into my training and I prepared the best way I could, then, you know, just because even if you don't perform as well as you want, like that's just one day. That's not a reason to be like, oh, I suck, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's such a blanket statement. Obviously, I completely agree with that. But it was like, it's one of those things when you're like, this is how I think, and then you hear someone else saying it and you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But I think we do get lost in that, like, oh, but winning is the most important thing. Well, who says so? What, like society? Yeah, okay. But it doesn't have to be like everything.
Yeah, for sure. So then what's one of the takeaways from this then for our listeners?
Find a measure of success that is not tied to winning.
Okay.
Like winning can still be really important to you, but find something else. Like it might be improving my weak side at football or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So then you can still achieve that. So it's not tied to like the outcome.
Yeah. So it also sounds like having more than just one type of success.
Yeah.
Right? So that also spreads that out a little bit. Nice. Okay. Let's move on to number 2. And it's making yourself proud before the competition.
Yeah, and this kind of goes like to what I said, what I was just talking about.
Yeah.
Like it's not just my performance on the day.
Yeah.
Because like, I think about it this way. Let's say I don't prepare at all, like no training, and then I rock up and I just happen to perform really well. Well, like, yeah, that's great. But like, am I really proud of the efforts I've put in before that day? Probably not, you know? Like I just kind of by chance played good on that day. Whereas you can make yourself proud in the months, the weeks, the days leading up to that performance by doing your training, by taking care of your recovery, by taking care of your hydration, nutrition, sleep, everything that's involved in getting a performance. So then before the competition even starts, you can say, regardless of what happens, I'm really proud of what I have done. And there's kind of like a freedom attached to that. It's not like I have to win this to prove to myself that I am good. It's like I've already proved to myself that I'm disciplined. I can do this hard work. I can train for something. I can set a goal and pursue it. So there's so many things you've already achieved before that day.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we kind of take that away from sports to make it more general for other things in life too, all the things that you mentioned, it kind of comes down to the building blocks.
Yeah.
Right? So what are the things that we build day by day, those little things that we do over time that takes us closer to maybe where we want to be.
Yeah. And it's something we have talked about too, I don't know if on the podcast, but like on social media and stuff is, you know, success or like change doesn't happen the day that you achieve your goal. So like on the day you win or on the day you reach a certain, I don't know, for example, weight, if you're on a weight loss journey or something like that, it's not that day that it's like whoa, now I'm different. It's been a huge process to get there, and this is just a culmination of like all the work you have done.
Yeah, the change happens during the journey, during the process.
Yeah,
well said. So what is a takeaway from point number 2?
You tell me.
It's remembering that it is the daily process, the things that you do daily, that can help you make yourself proud before the day of whatever you're doing. You know?
Yeah.
So sometimes taking a step back and realizing this is where I started, this is where I am, this is the road that I have taken.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes back to other topics that we talked about on this podcast too, right? So seeing the big picture and then putting in that daily work.
Yeah.
Or weekly, monthly.
Yearly.
Yeah, I know. That leads us to the last way you can make yourself proud, and it's thinking about how you handle defeat.
Yeah, so this is something that can go a number of ways. I think about handball, and it's an interesting sport, because if you think about Gaelic football or hurling, especially at the top level, you're not going to have input from, I don't want to say the word random, but it is spectators.
Spectators, yeah.
Yeah. They're not going to be coming up to you giving their 2 cents on your performance. So handball is challenging like that, because people, I sat down on the side of the court and people come up to you and tell you what they think
you should have done. And that was after the game, or?
Yeah, or why you shouldn't be disappointed, or how things could have gone differently. And that's literally a minute after you step out of the court.
Yeah.
So that can be a challenge with handball. But something I do think about is a way that I can feel proud of myself is, when I lost, I shake hands with my opponent, congratulate them, and then, step out. And yeah, I'm really disappointed. And in that moment, I just want to be by myself, which is typically what I do. After a loss, is I do spend some time by myself, because I don't want to talk about what I could have done differently in that moment. I don't really want to think about it. I'm just a bit sad.
Yeah, of course.
And that's okay. Sometimes people are oh, just get over it straight away. But this is something that I've worked really hard for, and it hasn't gone how I wanted it to, but then it typically, the next day, I'll kind of start being okay, yeah, I'm still disappointed that I lost, but it's okay, life goes on, now it's on to the next thing. So then when I think about maybe why I wouldn't be proud of myself, I probably wouldn't be proud of myself if, when, coming to the end of that game, I start maybe getting annoyed, frustrated, giving out to the ref, or, saying things in the court. So maybe that wouldn't be a good way to handle defeat, and I wouldn't be proud of myself. So even with that, I'm thinking about, how do I want to hold myself even when things aren't going my way?
Yeah. I mean, that would also be very out of the ordinary for you as a player to behave that way.
It would be.
So another reason as to when you think about who you want to be as a person and a player, you are a certain way.
Yeah. And even
and that is not the way you just described.
No.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm proud of, is
that's what I meant.
how I handle if everything's going really well or if everything is not going really well. And I also think after the fact, I've had my day of being sad and mopey by myself. Okay, how do I use that? Is it well, I'm just gonna, I don't care, I'm not gonna try anymore, which maybe that could happen. You're oh sure, what's the point, or am I gonna learn from that experience, what could I have done differently when I'm ready to think about that, and then working on that, and then going into next year I can be proud of that. Well, I did lose in the quarterfinal and I learned from it. I've developed these aspects of my game. And I can feel good about that going into the first round of the championship next year. So you can use that information that you've just gotten. Something that I often think about in my sport is there's a reason that I lost. What are the areas of my game that I can improve? Which is exciting. There's many things to get better at.
Yeah.
Which maybe wouldn't be as easy if you're always winning. But I wouldn't know that.
What I was going to say with that, that I was thinking about is it's important to allow yourself to be disappointed.
Yeah.
And, it's okay to take a day or two. I don't know, it depends on who you are, I suppose. The time that you want to kind of just mope, like you said.
Yeah.
And then when you're ready to move on with purpose and to learn from that experience. Because then that can motivate you going forward, right, into the next year.
Yeah.
There was something I wanted to ask you actually with this. So you talked about how you handle defeat now. I was just curious, when you were younger, Ciana, I know a thing or two about how you handle defeat as a little baby handballer. How was that? Just to give insight to how you have learned over the years.
I definitely didn't handle defeat in a way that I would be proud of. I mean, I also think there's a lot to be said for being young.
Of course.
And not knowing that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you're just really disappointed and you just let your emotions kind of influence your actions. There has only been one time that I did actually leave the court and I didn't shake someone's hand, but then my mom made me go back and shake their hands. That was even worse. But yeah, I would, like, if I knew I was losing, I would be annoyed. Like, you know, there would be the occasional, like, slap of the wall or something like that, which doesn't make much sense because the wall always wins. But that's something I have learned, like, over time. I was like, you know, this isn't actually helping at all. It's making me more annoyed.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was something I learned the hard way, I think.
Yeah, I think this is actually would be a good topic for another time to talk maybe what we have learned over the years.
Yeah.
Because talking about you and like to you about this when you were younger, there has been a big change.
Yeah, definitely.
And I can say the same for me.
Yeah.
You know, as a person and athlete, and the mindset that comes with it, and it's a part of the learning, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, now we went off tangent here.
Next topic.
Yeah. So with the last one, then, what could we say is a takeaway for someone to, you know, be proud in how they handle defeat?
I think actually thinking about it. Obviously, we don't want to think about, oh, I'm going to lose this game. But thinking about, you know, the potential of, you know, I'm going to lose a game in my sporting career, whether it's an individual or team sport. So, like, how do I want to represent myself at that time?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it will just be based on the emotions we feel in that moment. And maybe that won't be those won't be actions that you can feel proud of afterwards. You know? Like, I think it's one of those things that, I felt this really difficult emotion and I was able to handle it in a way that, you know, I'm proud of myself. So just thinking about it, what will I do?
Yeah, that's a good takeaway there. So kind of wrapping all of this up then, just tying it all in together. We talked about the unfortunate defeat for you and kind of what you took away from it and how you have found things that you are proud of, even if it was very disappointing.
Yeah.
You mentioned like thinking about that you can choose your idea of success and like how we can think about that to make our success more broad in a way. And then making yourself proud before the competition by putting those building blocks down and working towards something. Like we said, it's about the journey and the process more so than the outcome itself. And then lastly, considering, you know, how do you want to handle defeat and thinking about that.
Yeah. Thank you all for listening to the Space in Between podcast. And remember to keep using the space in between. And we'll catch you in the next one.
See ya.